Ancient Egypt stands as a beacon of human achievement, a civilization that has fascinated historians, archaeologists, and the general public for centuries. It is one of the world's oldest civilizations, dating back to around 3100 BCE. This great civilization thrived for over 3,000 years through numerous dynasties and periods of prosperity and turmoil. Imagine the stories its ruins could tell. Each stone and artifact holds a piece of the past, waiting to be discovered. Ancient Egypt was located in northeast Africa, a region that provided a unique environment for its development. The Nile River was its lifeblood, providing water, transportation, and fertile soil. The fertile land around the Nile allowed a powerful civilization to develop, with agriculture at its core. The ancient Egyptians were innovative people, creating tools and techniques that were ahead of their time. They developed a system of writing, which was crucial for administration and culture. This system is known as hieroglyphs, a complex script that combined logographic and alphabetic elements. They used hieroglyphs to record their history and beliefs, preserving their legacy for future generations. They also created stunning works of art, from intricate jewelry to grand statues and murals. Their pyramids and temples still inspire awe today, standing as testaments to their architectural genius. Ancient Egypt was a complex society with a well-defined social hierarchy and a rich cultural life. At its heart was the pharaoh, the central figure in both government and religion. The pharaoh was the absolute ruler, wielding immense power and influence. He was considered a god on earth, a divine intermediary between the gods and the people. The Egyptians believed in a pantheon of gods and goddesses, each with their own roles and stories. They built magnificent temples to honor them, structures that have stood the test of time. Ancient Egypt left an indelible mark on the world, influencing countless cultures and civilizations. Its achievements in art, architecture, and religion continue to fascinate us, offering a glimpse into a world long past. In this essay, we will explore the mysteries of ancient Egypt, delving into its history, culture, and contributions to humanity. We will journey through its history, culture, and enduring legacy, uncovering the secrets that have captivated us for millennia. To understand ancient Egypt, we must first understand its timeline. This timeline spans thousands of years and is divided into several key periods, each with its own distinct characteristics and contributions to the rich tapestry of Egyptian history. Historians divide ancient Egyptian history into key periods, each marked by significant events, cultural developments, and notable rulers who left an indelible mark on the civilization. Each period has its own unique characteristics and achievements, reflecting the evolving nature of Egyptian society, its governance, and its interactions with neighboring regions. The pre-dynastic period, around 5000 to 3100 BC, marks the very beginnings of Egyptian civilization. This era is characterized by the formation of small communities and the development of early cultural practices. During this time, small settlements grew along the Nile, benefiting from the river's fertile banks, which provided the necessary resources for sustenance and growth. People learned to farm the fertile land, cultivating crops such as wheat and barley, which became staples of the Egyptian diet and supported the growing population. They developed simple forms of government and religion, laying the foundations for the complex societal structures that would emerge in later periods. The Archaic period, around 3100 to 2686 BC, saw the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt, a monumental event in Egyptian history. King Menes, a powerful ruler, united the two lands, establishing the first dynasty and setting the stage for the future greatness of Egypt. This marked the beginning of the dynastic period, a time when pharaohs, considered divine kings, ruled Egypt with absolute authority. Pharaohs, considered divine kings, ruled Egypt, overseeing the construction of monumental structures and the development of a centralized state. The Old Kingdom, around 2686 to 2181 BC, is known as the Age of the Pyramids, a period of remarkable architectural achievements. This was a time of great prosperity and stability. Pharaohs wielded absolute power, and their reigns were marked by the construction of massive pyramids which served as their tombs and symbols of their divine status. They commissioned the construction of massive pyramids such as the Great Pyramid of Giza, which remains one of the most iconic symbols of ancient Egypt. These pyramids served as their tombs, designed to ensure their safe passage to the afterlife and to house their treasures for eternity. The Middle Kingdom, around 2055 to 1650 BC, followed a period of turmoil and fragmentation, but it was also a time of reunification and cultural renaissance. Mentuhotep II reunited Egypt, bringing stability and ushering in a new era of prosperity and artistic achievement. This era saw a resurgence of art, literature, and architecture, with significant advancements in these fields that reflected the renewed strength and unity of the nation. Thebes became the new capital, serving as the political and cultural heart of Egypt during this period. Egypt expanded its influence into Nubia and Syria, extending its reach and establishing itself as a dominant power in the region. The New Kingdom, around 1550 to 1070 BC, was a time of imperial expansion and unprecedented wealth. Powerful pharaohs like Hatshepsut and Ramses II ruled, leading military campaigns and commissioning grand building projects. They extended Egypt's borders far and wide, creating an empire that stretched from modern-day Sudan to Syria. Magnificent temples were built at Karnak and Luxor, showcasing the architectural and artistic prowess of the New Kingdom. The late period, around 664 to 30 BC, was a time of decline, marked by internal strife and external invasions. Foreign powers, including the Persians and Greeks, conquered Egypt, leading to periods of foreign rule and significant cultural changes. The Ptolemaic kingdom, ruled by Greek pharaohs, was the last dynasty of ancient Egypt, blending Greek and Egyptian cultures in a unique and complex society. Cleopatra VII, the last pharaoh, ruled during this time, her reign marked by political intrigue and her famous relationships with Julius Caesar and Mark Antony. Her tragic love affair with Mark Antony is legendary, a story of passion and power that has captivated imaginations for centuries. In 30 BC, Rome conquered Egypt, bringing an end to the ancient civilization and beginning a new chapter under Roman rule. This marked the end of ancient Egyptian civilization, a civilization that had thrived for millennia and left an enduring legacy that continues to fascinate and inspire the world today. The Nile River was the lifeblood of ancient Egypt. This mighty river flows northwards through the desert. It empties into the Mediterranean Sea. The Nile provided the ancient Egyptians with everything they needed. It gave them water for drinking and irrigation. It deposited fertile silt on its banks. This made the land ideal for farming. The Nile was also a vital transportation route. Boats carried goods and people up and down the river. The annual flooding of the Nile was a crucial event. Egyptians eagerly awaited the flood. They knew it would bring life-giving water and fertile soil. They developed a sophisticated system of irrigation canals. This allowed them to control the floodwaters and grow abundant crops. The Nile was not just a source of sustenance, it was also a source of inspiration. The ancient Egyptians saw the Nile as a symbol of life, death, and rebirth. They believed that the god Hapi controlled the Nile's floods. They offered prayers and sacrifices to ensure a bountiful harvest. The Nile was central to ancient Egyptian life. It shaped their culture, religion, and history. Ancient Egyptian society was highly structured, with a clear hierarchy that dictated the roles and responsibilities of its people. At the top was the pharaoh, the absolute ruler, considered a living god on earth, who wielded immense power and influence over the land and its people. Below the pharaoh were the nobles, priests, and scribes. These individuals held significant sway in both religious and administrative matters, ensuring the smooth functioning of the state. These elite groups enjoyed a privileged life, often surrounded by opulence and luxury that was unimaginable to the common folk. They lived in luxurious homes adorned with beautiful decorations and wore fine clothing made from the best materials available. They had access to the best education and healthcare, which allowed them to maintain their status and continue their lineage of power and influence. The vast majority of Egyptians were farmers, who formed the backbone of the economy by working the fertile lands along the Nile. They worked tirelessly to produce food for the nation, ensuring that the granaries were always full and the people were fed. They lived in simple mud brick homes which provided basic shelter and were often built close to their fields. They ate a simple diet of bread, beer and vegetables, which were staples that sustained them through their hard labor. Despite the social hierarchy, ancient Egyptians enjoyed a relatively good standard of living with access to various amenities and communal activities. They had a strong sense of community, often coming together for social gatherings, communal work and religious ceremonies. They celebrated many religious festivals throughout the year, which were marked by feasts, music and dance, bringing joy and unity to the people. Daily life in ancient Egypt revolved around the Nile, the lifeblood of the civilization, providing water, transportation and fertile soil for agriculture. Farmers worked their fields according to the rhythm of the floods, which brought nutrient-rich silt to the land, ensuring bountiful harvests. Women played an important role in society, contributing to both the household and the economy in various capacities. They managed the household and raised children, ensuring the smooth running of daily life and the continuation of family traditions. They could also own property and work outside the home, engaging in trades and businesses, which gave them a degree of independence and influence. Children learned to read and write at temple schools where they were taught by priests and scribes, preparing them for future roles in society. Boys usually followed in their father's footsteps, learning trades and skills that would support their families and contribute to the community. Girls were expected to marry and raise a family, continuing the lineage and maintaining the household. Life in ancient Egypt was challenging, but rewarding, with hard work and dedication leading to a stable and prosperous society. The Egyptians were a resourceful and resilient people capable of overcoming obstacles and achieving great feats in architecture, art and science. They created a vibrant and enduring civilization whose legacy continues to fascinate and inspire people around the world today. Religion was central to ancient Egyptian life. The Egyptians were polytheistic. This means they believed in many gods and goddesses. Each god had a specific role to play in the universe. Ra, the sun god, was the most important god. He was seen as the creator of all life. Osiris was the god of the underworld and rebirth. Isis, Osiris's wife, was the goddess of magic and motherhood. Horus, their son, was the god of kingship. The ancient Egyptians believed that their gods controlled every aspect of life. They offered prayers and sacrifices to appease the gods. They built magnificent temples to honor them. Temples were not just places of worship. They were also centers of learning and culture. Priests played an important role in ancient Egyptian society. They performed religious ceremonies and advised the pharaoh. The ancient Egyptians believed in life after death. They mummified their dead to preserve their bodies for the afterlife. They buried their dead with everything they would need in the next world.